What is going on, Pats Nation? It's Patriots Global back here with another video, and in this one, we're going to be talking about how Patriots rookie defensive end slash linebacker Josh Uche is going to be just a pass rushing star with the New England Patriots defense, and he is going to help put a ton of pressure, especially with Chase Winovich on the other side, on opposing quarterbacks. Now, a lot of people still have questions for Josh Uche as he makes his transition from college into the pros, the NFL, and this is more specifically because he didn't really get a whole lot of starting time at Michigan. The good thing about that, though, is the fact that, look, he does clearly have some untapped potential. There's no doubting that. Right, but the also good thing is the fact that he played at Michigan. Michigan's a great college. It's a big college who plays against some big and top tier opposing talent. So when Josh Uche is going up and he's getting that starting time, he's actually playing against starters who will help him transition into the NFL. Big thing I love about some of these guys is that not all of them played with smaller colleges, so making that transition to the NFL should not be as hard. Despite not getting too much starting time, you can't argue at the fact when watching his film that he can really, really play. In 2019, Josh Uche had a total of 7.5 sacks at Michigan, and he had 7 the season prior, so 2018. Now off the bat, you're probably like, okay, Patriots Global, 7.5 sacks, that's good. If he's able to put 7.5 sacks up with the Patriots, that's not a bad season, but there's nothing stellar about that. And while you are right, let's keep in mind again that he was very much underutilized in Michigan. He didn't get full-time starting caliber snaps like he could potentially be getting with the New England Patriots. Now, when I say that, don't expect that year one. A lot of people ask my expectations for Josh Uche, and the big thing that I tell everyone is kind of expect that transition that they did with Winovich. Now, I think they'll use Josh Uche a little bit more than they used Winovich in his rookie season, but don't expect anything huge when it comes to usage of Josh Uche in his first year. Belichick just isn't really crazy about doing that with rookies in their first year. Something that I love about the selection of Josh Uche, and something that I think is really going to help the Patriots defense, is that he brings an approach that Chase Winovich actually brought, and that I know a lot of Patriots fans, that the coaching staff, especially Bill Belichick, loved, and that is the fact that he's very, very consistent on pretty much every single snap. He has a high motor. He's not a guy that you essentially have to worry about, okay, is his play style going to be high for a few snaps, then going to get low, then have to come off the field? That's not something you have to worry about. So if they're in a situation where an opposing offense is running a hurry-up offense, Josh Uche and Chase Winovich are both guys that, if they're on the field, will still be able to perform at a high level, which is going to be very, very beneficial for the New England Patriots. What I love about him, too, is the fact that he's not a guy that relies on his upper body strength. I feel like that's a big thing you hear about with defensive tackles, defensive ends, edge rushers, is that you're always hearing them being relied on strong guys with upper body strength, but with Uche, you're getting a very explosive guy, a very athletic guy with a ton of upside with athletic ability. Again, something the Patriots really needed, but he has very good lower body movement, which is really, really going to help him against some of these offensive linemen in the NFL. More specifically, some of these not so athletic offensive linemen, some of these slower offensive linemen. Uche does not bring anything crazy when it comes to size. Now, he sits at 6'1". That's probably the biggest standout here. Nothing too crazy. Usually when you're looking at defensive tackles, defensive end, edge rushers, defensive players as a whole in the NFL, you're really looking for guys on the average of like 6'4", 260 pounds. That's definitely not what you're going to get with Uche, sitting at 241 pounds. But I think that it's a little bit too overlooked. Like, too many people feel that in the NFL to be good, you have to have that size, you have to have that build. And I feel like we have seen many times as Patriots fans that these smaller guys can make a huge impact and they can turn out to be some of the best NFL players. I mean, something that I've heard a lot going around when comparing Josh Uche's small frame, small size, is a guy like Dwight Freeney, who was with the Colts and the Atlanta Falcons. He was a guy who was small. He was not your average defensive player, defensive lineman in the NFL, but he was still able to get to Tom Brady, someone I'm sure as Patriots fans we all know very well, and he was able to terrorize the heck out of him, get pressure on him, get in his face. And he was a guy who was able to sit at 6'1", 268 pounds, so pretty similar to someone like Josh Uche. Now, guys, things are finally getting better with this whole pandemic going around, but not everything is back to normal yet. So a lot of people think that when they try to lose weight, they're doing the wrong thing. They're thinking exercise. Now, whether they actually start exercising or not, the results usually are the same either way. And I say the same because losing weight, it's all about nutrition. And with Awaken 180 Weight Loss, you'll receive a customized nutrition plan, weekly one-on-one coaching, and the option to receive 80% of your daily foods to help you lose weight in your first week and multiple weeks after that until you get down to your ideal weight. During your weight loss transformation, you'll be gaining the tools to know what and how to eat so you can keep the weight off for the long term. And of course, as always, Awaken 180 will provide you with free support for life. Y'all, if this is something that interests you, go ahead and call the long-term solution for weight loss and the official weight loss program for the Boston Red Sox, Awaken 180 Weight Loss, online at awaken180weightloss.com. Now, as we talk about pressure with Josh Uche, in 2019, he was also able to register 46.5 combined quarterback disruptions. Yeah, 46.5. And what that is basically his sacks combined with his quarterback hits along with his hurries. We already talked about the sacks. Now, as for the hits, he had 13 quarterback hits along with 25 total hurries. He also generated pressure on 23.3% of his pass rushing attempts, and according to Pro Football Focus, he actually ranked second among all FBS level edge defenders in efficiency. Now, the other good thing that I like about Josh Uche is that I know this video is about pressure, getting to the quarterback, but I think you do have to understand and appreciate the other aspect that Josh Uche does bring because, look, you don't want to have a one-dimensional piece on your defense, especially your defensive line as Patriots fans. We've seen what that's like. We've seen what it was like to have a guy on the defensive line, a defensive end position, defensive tackle, where their only attribute is to stop the run. Or on the reverse, guys who are not able to stop the run, they're not able to stop mobile quarterbacks, but they're able to apply pressure. For example, someone like Adrian Claiborne. Uche was able to force a pair of fumbles, with one of those being a recovery, and had 11.5 tackles for loss and are on a combined 35 total takedowns. Now, how can this be beneficial to the New England Patriots? Well, I see Uche being mostly an edge defender. Now, I do see him being a very versatile piece because that's what he's shown throughout his college time to be a very versatile guy. So you will see him drop into coverage at times. You'll see him at linebacker at times. More of that blitzing linebacker, of course. But something that the New England Patriots need to do defensively to start having more success, to stop opposing offenses, to give the ball and give more chances back to the Patriots offense, is take care of these mobile quarterbacks. It's something that they've had struggle with for years, and it just seems like it doesn't get better. And with the league changing, with the league becoming a phase where these quarterbacks, you kind of have to be mobile in today's defense. Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, Lamar Jackson. The league is changing where quarterbacks are going to be running all over the field, and the Patriots are going to have to work with that transition of the NFL. I mean, the game is literally either close or the Patriots end up losing when they end up playing a quarterback that is mobile. The Patriots games versus the Bills this past season, they were very close. The Patriots lost versus the Ravens. Patriots lost versus the Chiefs. Patriots lost versus the Texans, all very mobile quarterbacks. What Josh Uche will do is have the ability to help with pressure, but will also have the ability in helping the run game and taking care on the edge of quarterbacks that might scramble out to his side of defending. Now, like I mentioned, I do expect the Patriots to kind of take that route with Josh Uche that they did last year with Chase Winovich. Let's remember that Chase Winovich at the time was more so that third edge rusher type of set. That was kind of his rotation. It was more so behind Kyle Van Noy and John Simon, but he is expected to take a bigger workload this upcoming season. Now, luckily enough for Josh Uche, the Patriots lost some big guys, especially at the linebacker core. Guys like Jamie Collins, Kyle Van Noy, who were very much off-the-ball linebackers, edge defender linebackers. The Patriots have to replace that. Of course, they also lost a Landon Roberts. So Josh Uche, while he will be taking a similar approach to Chase Winovich, could see some more rotation, could see some more playtime just because of the departures and some of the holes that the New England Patriots currently have on their defense. But this is going to be it for today's video. What are your guys' thoughts on that selection of Josh Uche? I know we talked about this a little while ago because, like always, I did make a video on Josh Uche, his draft profile, what to expect from him, his strengths, his weaknesses, just like I did along with all the other Patriots draft selections of 2020. So if you are interested in seeing the draft selection of Josh Uche or any of the other Patriots draft selections, go ahead and check that out. I have a playlist over on my channel. You can check out all of those videos. But let me know what you guys are feeling about this in the comment section below. Please make sure you guys give this video a big thumbs up. Doesn't cost you a single thing and helps the channel out tremendously. And consider subscribing to the channel for all of your New England Patriots news if you haven't already. Like always, though, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.